Steaks, the holy grail of all foods. I mean, who doesn't like a red, juicy cut of... But there's one major problem we have. It's so hard to find a good steak in the Philippines. Any expat who wants to enjoy a prime cut of meat may find themselves dumbfounded in this country. So today, I take you along with me on the full-blown experience eating at one of the most expensive steakhouses in the Philippines, Wolfgang's Wiener.
Happy Easter, savvy expats. Today we're going to be eating at one of the best steakhouses in Manila, if not in all of the Philippines. And I'm going to be breaking down the prices for you and also comparing the quality to the States. And if you're wondering where this steakhouse is located, it's located in the heart of BGC at 1 Bonifacio High Street. Even during Easter, I would think that most people went out to the province to go to relax and hang out. But here in BGC, it's still somewhat crowded. People just enjoying their Easter Sunday. Butter. Exquisite. And then my mom and sister got some crab cakes for the appetizer. Let's try it out and see how it tastes. Squeeze some lemon. Perfect. And then the crab cake, let's try it. What makes the crab cake really good is the sauce, but you can even tell that the crab cake is made out of real crabs. Sometimes you'll try crab cake and you can taste that it's imitation crab. This one, it actually stretches apart and you can feel the meat, and so real crab over here, delicious. What I especially like is that there's no fillers in here and just all crab. Exactly what you want in a crab cake. Now let's talk about the service, which is one of the most important parts of fine dining. As a matter of fact, we were planning on going to try Ruth's Chris, but one of my commenters said that it's actually Ruth's Chris over there because the service is not as good. But here at Wolfgang's, we've seen so far that the service from our waiter, Boyet, was great. He asked us when we want to take out the appetizers and when we want the actual main course. He also puts the napkins on our laps. He cleans the crumbs off the table, so he's on top of everything. So all in all, if you want the full-on steakhouse experience, just as if you were in New York or in Chicago, then this is probably the best place you can go to in all of BGC.
Together with the strip pork. USDA Prime Black Angus beef.
USDA Prime?
Black Angus beef.
Okay. Black Angus beef.
For 20 days.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, I could do this every day.
And just looking at the lobster mac and cheese while adding it to my plate, it looks like there are some chunks of lobster in there, which is of course a great sign. The lobster looks great, and you can see that they torched the top and put it in the oven. And then I also added the mashed potatoes, which is just your classic steakhouse mashed potatoes, where it's a little bit more creamy, just like Peter Luger and those steakhouses in the US. And so we've talked enough. Let's dig into this steak, medium rare. Once again, this is the porterhouse. He gave me both the filet mignon side and the sirloin side. And Boyat, he also drizzled some of that butter on top of the steak afterwards as well. First things I noticed about the steak is that it's tender, it's juicy, and the taste is actually USDA Prime. Some of the places here in the Philippines, they'll claim it to be Wagyu, USDA Prime, but you can actually taste as soon as you put your tongue on it that it's not. Our waiter also told us that this was dry aged for 30 days and fresh, never frozen, and you can actually see that in the quality. If there's anything that's going to be equivalent to the steaks that you have in the US, it's probably gonna be Wolfgang's. But of course, one bite is not enough. We have to take another one to really see this quality. We'll try the sirloin side on this one.
That's what you're waiting for.
What I love about this one is the char on the edge. That makes all the difference.
Heaven.
With that, we have to try the mashed potatoes. Creamy mashed potatoes, just like classic steakhouse. All right, let's try this out. Yeah, so just your classic mashed potatoes from a steakhouse. There's nothing foo-foo about this steakhouse. It's not like they're adding anything modern. They're just keeping it as classic and as simple as it gets. Nothing really modern, no playing around, no experimenting. Just classic, fresh, never frozen steaks, and they want the quality to really show out. Now let's try the lobster mac and cheese. I'm excited about this one. Here you can see that they have some lobster chunks in here, and then we'll have it with...
It takes some 15 minutes for the...
Perfect, thank you.
Do you like that they call you that, Dad?
Now as for the lobster mac and cheese, I like how there is the chunks of lobster, but I don't like how the whole dish is such a deep flavor of it. It's a little too fishy for me, so. And that could be just me because when it comes to lobster, I'm a little iffy on that. And let's not lie, if we're all here guys, all of you would be doing the exact same thing as me, adding more of this delicious butter onto the steak. Rehydrate. Wow. Wow. Now I'm gonna try a little bit of my little brother's filet, see how his is.
I like your watch, bro.
That's delicious too.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna try the lamb chop and see how it compares to King's Steakhouse. As for the steak, we said we're gonna compare it to Peter Luger's. That's not even really a fair question because Peter Luger's is the best steakhouse in the world. Of course it's not better than Peter Luger's, and I'll stay honest about that one. But let's try the lamb chops.
They don't cook it in like the water.
That is delicious. Yeah, and I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to hype this place up, say like everything is delicious and just say it for the sake of trying to be nice. But actually, this is seriously delicious. It's got a gamey flavor to it, so you guys already know if you've tried lamb chop, there's more of a gamey flavor to it, but that's still delicious.
They got a club today?
At least comparing the steaks from that we had in the US.
Can we get the
This is on par with
chocolate
it, but you can see for yourself and try it. Chocolate mousse.
Wait, what if you request just
Jay goes, okay, next time.
So the chocolate mousse cake is good. This kind of dessert has not always been my favorite. I've always been more of a fan of tiramisu, so I'm more excited to try that. But as for the mousse cake, pretty delicious and light and airy. Now let's try this tiramisu. One bite. Everyone knows the rules.
One bite, everyone knows the rules.
I have to say my sister's is way better than this because you can't really taste the espresso on this one, and as for the mascarpone, which should be used for tiramisu, this is not the same. It tastes more like whipping cream. I like the strong espresso flavor, and this one doesn't have that. And the best way to end up a meal is with a after meal coffee. Clink.
Now that meal was such a blessing to have this Easter. But let's talk about what you really want to know, the prices. I'll go ahead and say right now, the final bill was $600, but let's do a breakdown on that. So taking a look at the receipt, we first have the drinks. My dad ordered 2 glasses of Johnny Walker Black Label on the rocks, which in pesos is 1,200 pesos. That's around $24. My mom ordered a Cosmopolitan, which is around 450 pesos, or in dollars, $9. We then ordered ourselves a delicious crab cake, which was around 870 pesos or $17. Next, the price tag on my mom's grilled salmon was 1,500 pesos or $30. She then ordered the steamed broccoli, which was around 500 pesos or $10. Next, my sister ordered the petite filet mignon, which was 2,700 pesos or $54. We also got the lobster mac and cheese, which costed us 1,000 pesos or $20. The next side that we got was 3 orders of the mashed potatoes, which was 1,200 pesos or $24. My little brother enjoyed himself a nice filet mignon, which ran up to 4,000 pesos or $80. Now, my personal favorite that we got was the porterhouse steak for 2 people, which costed us 7,800 pesos or in dollars, $156. The last piece of meat that we couldn't leave the restaurant without trying was the lamb chops. The cost for this was 4,000 pesos or $80. Lastly, we have the desserts and the after meal items. So we ordered 2 Americano coffees, which is a must after a good meal. That cost 350 pesos or $7. And for the desserts, the chocolate mousse cake costed us 350 pesos or $7. And last but not least, the tiramisu also cost 350 pesos or $7. Now that leaves us with the grand total of 28,351 pesos or in dollars, $567 for our Easter dinner. With tip included, our final bill came out to around $600. Were we shocked at all by the prices? No. The truth is, if you want to get the premium, especially in the Philippines, you're gonna have to pay the premium. Very few, and I mean very few places in this country has authentic, dry-aged USDA prime steaks. And so you can all see why they charge these kind of prices. And with the top-notch service from Boyet, which is the best service we've ever gotten in the Philippines. In addition to the calm ambiance of BGC, this made for the full experience being unforgettable. Not to mention, that's a meal for 5 big eaters, plus we had leftovers. And really, Easter only comes once every year, so why not celebrate the most important day in history with a delicious meal? As soon as you make plans to get the best of the best, your wallet becomes secondary to the food that you seek. And for us, we found the quality to shine through the price that we paid. So I highly recommend that you guys try out this steakhouse and evaluate for yourselves if it's worth it for you. If you enjoyed this video, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. And so thank you for watching Savvy Expats, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless